All right, guys. Hey, what's going on? Check what I picked up. I did a little short unboxing video if you guys want to check that out. The Yamaha YDM505. Look at this. I'm liking it. I don't know if we got anything there zooming in, but on this side here, right here, it tells you it's the YDM505. On this side, of course, it says Yamaha. Got the tuning forks up there. And yeah, you know, it comes with the typical wired mic stuff that you guys would expect to get. Let me give you just, you know, I got this in today. So let me give you everything that came to mind when I first pulled this out. Number one, it confirmed what I was looking at online. And there weren't a lot of videos. I think just a couple I was able to run across. Weren't a lot of videos, but it looks very familiar, similar to different series of mics. So here's a Sennheiser 835, which you guys are very familiar with. So there's that right there. I don't know. Sennheiser may be a tad heavier. I mean, just slightly, only because I'm coming up with something to say right now. But anyway, it's very familiar. So I was really intrigued real quick about the sound quality. Now, I had to get out the door this morning pretty quick, but this mic, it came in, and I said, man, I just got to get this plugged in real quick. That's the bottom line, and I got to go, but where I had to go to is going to have to wait a couple minutes. So I plugged it in, and I tell you what, make sure you watch after this. Make sure you watch the little comparison video, my unfair comparison video that I have after this. But I plugged this microphone in, and the first thing that came to my mind, and I kind of like first, like when you first meet somebody, first impressions. The first thing that came to mind is, man, it's got a clean low end to it. That's what I thought. Now, I'm not a microphone pro. I got a handful of mics. Many of you out there has got more than I do, but it had a nice clean low end to it that didn't get not a ton of proximity. It wasn't overloading with deep low end as you got up to it. That's the first thing that came to mind after, I compared these two. And as I started to talk into it and sing into it, I got to be honest with you, I was super impressed with how clean the mic sounded, at least to my voice. I really did think it sounded pretty clean. I was worried just talking into it and just doing a little singing without guitar and stuff, that it may be overloaded a little bit strong in the mids. And so I asked myself, well, am I going to have to start cutting mids in this? I've long been on a search for a gigging mic that I could just plug in if the situation ever came up where I didn't have a lot of EQ, where it just sounds good out of the box. You know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're good at the source, it makes everything a little bit easier further out, as I've learned, okay? At least in my experience. I was very happy with things like the Sennheiser E935 for that, and the Shure SM57, way more than the 58, again, for my voice. This microphone handles that. So I was really curious on how is that going to translate to a live gig situation. So I use these for live gigs. Again, just got this in today, and so I've not used it for that yet. So again, check the video out after this. I'm going to do a little comparison. I'm going to compare it to my wireless 835, my SKM transmitter, into the newer EWDP little battery powered receiver. That's what I've got a handful of gigs on, maybe 8 to 10 gigs or something like that. So, and I've been happy with that. Before I did that video, I'll tell you this right now, I compared this to the wired 835 I just showed you. Again, I got to say, this is just a cleaner sound. I believe it just is. That's how it hits my ears. Now, I've bought new mics before, and, got the little romance stage with them, but I've never, right away. You know right away if it's what you're looking for the particular application. This one's pretty close, but when I plugged in my guitar and sing with it. Probably played half hour, 45 minutes before I shot the next video after this one. And I gotta say I was pretty impressed, but I've not gigged with it yet, okay? I don't know if how this thing's gonna reject feedback from a wedge. I really want to go back to our ears, but maybe this Friday we're going to use our wedge. I don't know yet, but I think how the mids translated with guitar while it's singing, I think it was more of just a cut through thing. I know that on the 835 I have to be careful because I don't know if it's 4 or 5K right in there or something. It can get a little screechy maybe, or just a little harsh maybe. I believe I've heard that before. I don't think people's out there paying attention the way that we are, as long as the sound is not too loud blowing them away. And as long as they like the music that you're doing and they're having a good time, then everything's good. Again, you know what I'm talking about. I think what I was hearing out of this, again, good low end. I like the low end. It doesn't seem overloaded. It doesn't seem muddy. I like that. The mids I was worried about, but when I started playing and singing, the mids were there, and it was, to me, almost like enough to cut through, but not enough to become harsh. So, anyways, that's my first thoughts on this. Okay, um, very similar in design, maybe a little bit wider body up here, so similar in design. I've resorted to 835s and 935s. They're a little bit easier for me to EQ or use less EQ to begin with. This one even less. I left the board straight. So while I was playing and singing. So, anyways, first thoughts. I like it. You get the bag, you get the clip. You know what I'm saying. You get all that stuff. I don't know what else to say at this point. It's 119 bucks, I think. If you're interested, I don't think it's a bad buy. I certainly not telling nobody to go out and buy it, but I don't think it's a bad buy. These are still what, 99 bucks. 58s are 99 bucks. So, you know, you know, call around, get a discount, get 10-15% off or something, pay 100 bucks for it. I don't think you're going to go wrong. To mic instruments and stuff, I've not tried any of that yet. And again, I don't know if this is going to be a feedback freak or anything with a wedge yet. I've not used that. So anyways, I'm happy. Don't seem like a lot of low end buildup. I believe it's clean from what I'm hearing. And I believe the enough mids there and stuff to cut through. And it's, I don't know, I guess it's more bright than it is deep, maybe, if that's what you're looking for in a microphone. But anyways, yeah, check the video out after this. I do a little unfair sound comparison, and we'll go from there. Hope you guys are well, doing good gigs, and if you get this for, I think Yamaha marketed this maybe more for podcasting and mentioned a little bit of live sound, but a lot of these things I guess can be interchangeable. So, anyways, check it out. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll go from there. God bless you guys. See ya.